organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up tonight on Daily Iowan TV, how a weak economy in China affects students at the University of Iowa.
Plus an update on the rebuilding of Hancher Auditorium.
I'm back on the sports set, ready to break down another offensive position. Find out which one coming up in sports.
We're bringing you all that and more coming up next.
You're watching Daily Iowan TV. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Megan Sanchez.
And I'm Jeremy Meyer.
We come to you tonight with devastating news out of Virginia. A TV news reporter and cameraman were shot and killed during a live broadcast Wednesday morning. Allison Parker and Adam Ward were gunned down by a former colleague while conducting a live interview. Parker and Ward were both killed on the scene while the interviewee suffered injuries.
The identified suspect is Vester Flanagan, who also went by the name Bryce Williams. Flanagan filmed the shooting and posted the footage on social media. The suspect was discovered by authorities with a self-inflicted gun wound. Flanagan later died at the hospital.
Our thoughts go out to the WDBJ news station as well as the family and friends of the victims. After a sharp fall in stocks earlier this week, Wednesday's U.S. stocks opened higher. The original drop in stocks followed a steep decline in Chinese growth. Investors are worried that Chinese officials are unable to stabilize their shares. Austin Love takes a closer look at what that means for University of Iowa students.
There are close to 3,000 Chinese students here at the University of Iowa. Each one of them will be paying about $1,000 more in tuition due to a recent devaluing of their currency.
The Chinese economy is slowing down. It's still growing, but it's not as growing fast as it was, and as a result, its stock market is going down.
In an effort to reboot their economy, China devalued their currency 0.2% since June. This may sound minimal, but it is still making an impact.
It makes coming to the United States, not just Iowa, but anywhere in the United States, a little bit, a few percent more expensive for a Chinese student.
Since the Chinese government devalued their currency, international students are noticing that these don't last as long as they used to.
Now I think more when buying stuff cause it's more expensive than it was before. Like the groceries and the fruits, we have to buy it. So just have to deal with it.
And while the changes are minimal now, if China's economy continues to slip, it could impact future Chinese students from coming to study in America.
When they are deciding to go to university in China or go to university in the United States, they will think about the fees and tuitions they have to spend here.
But as for Jun Kai, he's just making it work.
We're already here. We just have to keep going.
In Iowa City, Austin Love, Daily Iowan TV.
For more information, check out Thursday's edition of the Daily Iowan.
CAMBUS started a new bus route this past Monday that accommodates students living on the west side of campus. The West Dorm Shuttle is connecting students who live in the new Peterson Residence Hall and the surrounding dorms to the east side of campus. This new route was created to meet the demand of nearly 500 additional students who live in the new dorm. For bus schedules and new information, students are encouraged to use Bongo for accurate times.
It's been over 7 years since the flood of 2008 destroyed Hancher Auditorium, and now the building is just 1 year away from reopening. Our very own Andrew Roberts has a preview of the new facility.
Hancher Auditorium is one in over 20 buildings that was destroyed during the floods of 2008, and it is one of the last that is still in the rebuilding phase. With a little bit over a year until its scheduled completion, students and faculty at the University of Iowa have a lot to look forward to until opening night. The 192,000 square foot new Hancher facility is 70% completed and safely sits 7 feet over the 500-year flood plan, according to Brian Watson, project manager for Mortensen Construction. Watson, along with the other 1,749 craftspeople who have worked on the site, are excited to give the best and safest facility to performers and audience members alike.
Each craft person goes through a first hour orientation just so that every craftsperson is brushed up on all safety aspects for the project.
The auditorium will hold 1,800 people during shows, and in addition to performances, the facility will have rehearsal and office space and a cafe that includes outdoor seating with a view of the Iowa River. Executive Director of Hanchard, Chuck Swanson, has waited patiently and is excited to give the talented artists at UI a place to do what they do best.
We have been working without a building now for 7 years, going on 8. This will be our 8th season without a building. And even though Hanchard is more than a building, we're ready for a home. We're ready to have a home again.
The building is likely to be turned over to the university in April, with the first shows expected to take place in September of 2016. I'm Andrew Roberts reporting from Hanchard Auditorium for Daily Iowan TV.
We will bring you more updates as the construction progresses.
Well, Megan, it seems like the weather outside on campus for the first couple of days of classes has just been perfect.
Absolutely, Jeremy. With the sun shining, you just can't help but feel great while walking to class. Let's toss it over to Brianna Jett in the weather studio to see if this weather will continue. Brianna?
Thanks, guys. So it looks like it may have felt like fall for the past few days, but don't think these cool temperatures are here to stay. Thursday morning will be clear in the mid-50s. The temp should rise to about 73 by noon and reach a high of 80. It'll cool down to 74 by the evening. Just in time for the first weekend of the semester, there's a good chance of rain on Friday, so get those rain boots ready. On Saturday, the temperatures begin to rise. Sunday's high will be in the mid-80s with clear skies. Monday and Tuesday's temperatures will sit around 88 degrees with clear skies as well. Well, that's all the weather I have for you today, so back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Brianna. The Board of Regents announced the first finalist for the University of Iowa President Wednesday. Marvin Krisloff is the current president of Oberlin College in Ohio, but right now he's making his way to Iowa City. Krisloff is scheduled to visit the IMU second floor ballroom on Thursday at 4:45 for a public forum. The Board of Regents will continue to announce presidential candidates in the next few days.
Speaking of presidential candidates, the race for President of the United States is in full swing. 2016 candidate Hillary Clinton visited the Des Moines Area Community College Wednesday. During her visit, Clinton proposed more money for new farmers and other programs to boost rural economics. Clinton is leading the presidential polls for the state of Iowa by 34 points.
2016 presidential candidate Donald Trump is also in the spotlight today after his actions during a news conference in Dubuque, Iowa. During the press conference, Miami-based Univision news anchor Jorge Ramos asked Trump about his immigration proposal. This led to an argument between Trump and the reporter. The argument escalated until Trump's security escorted Ramos from the room.
The cooler temperature and changing leaves of fall doesn't just mean it's almost election season.
That's right, Megan. I don't know about you, but fall to me means football season.
Absolutely, Jeremy. I love me some Hawkeye football. Let's toss it over to Hannah Thompson to see what's the latest in Hawkeye sports. Hannah?
Thanks, Jeremy and Megan. We will welcome back Taylor Brooks on set with us later as she introduces us to another part of the Iowa football offense. But right now, we go to a team that has started their season with flying colors. The Iowa women's soccer team stands at a 2-0 record on the season as they beat the University of Nebraska-Omaha on Sunday. There were 3 key players to help out during that 4-0 victory, and Daily Iowan TV sports reporter Katie Reber explains why.
The Iowa soccer team is off to a strong start again this season, and every player is making a difference. Freshman Jenna Ketkin opened the floodgates on Sunday, scoring the Hawks' first goal of the game and the first of her career.
I felt great. That was my first goal, and being out for a whole year, so it felt great.
New in-season scorers make for a dynamic team that showcases a great depth of talent. Another freshman playmaker, Alina Magruder, added the second goal to the scoreboard for the Hawks and her second career goal of the season.
It's crazy because I'm a freshman, so being out there and scoring for the first time was awesome.
Following her impressive performance, Alina Magruder was named Big Ten Freshman of the Week. Building confidence, providing constructive criticism, and communicating is what junior Corey Burns explains as the keys to a successful younger team.
We're just really communicating with them a lot. I think practices, we switch roles a lot in practice and stuff like that. So I think we're really giving them confidence and making sure, not too harsh, but, constructive criticism where it's like, all right, just next time make sure you do this or something like that. So it's always more about the confidence and stuff like that. So making sure that we're building that instead of bringing it down. So
Giving the Hawks a 3-0 advantage was another freshman playmaker, Carly Stunkel, followed by Abby Toreen, who finished off the game with the final goal. Coach Diani was impressed with his 2015 team and is focused on a full team effort with each player making a difference.
We're just creating depth, and that's going to be vital when we get to the Big Ten, and we don't even have 3 or 4 players back yet. So I like the growth. It's just we need to going 1 or 2 steps forward versus 2 forward, 1 back.
This has been Katie Reber, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
And we'll see if Coach Gianni's young squad can keep up with the stellar start when they play South Dakota State Friday, August 28th, right here in Iowa City. Now, with football season right around the corner, Kirk Ferentz and his Gridiron gang have been adjusting to the works of a brand new practice facility. Tuesday football reporters Taylor Brooks and Laura Belanda were able to get the inside view of the incredible new facility. The 218,000 square foot building includes an indoor practice field, strength and training facilities, meeting rooms, and even a public area where the Iowa's trophies are displayed. We will give you an in-depth report on what goes on inside those walls Thursday, but for this week, we will stick with the actual game. Taylor, what's on the agenda tonight?
Hannah, that facility tour was absolutely incredible. A lot of sweat and time went into that building, and at one point, there was about 300 workers on the job. Now, sticking with our pattern of the offensive positions this week, last season, we saw multiple times where CJ Beathard and Jake Rudock would share snaps. As the season ended with a disappointing loss in the Tax Slayer Bowl against Tennessee, one quarterback bypassed the other on the depth chart.
It was a cold day in January.
Coach called me and told me that pretty much I had the nod, that I was listed number 1 on the depth chart.
CJ Beathard became the go-to guy to be the heart of this Iowa football team. The reaction of Jake Rudock, though, remained unknown.
And he said he was going to call Jake after and tell him the same situation. He didn't know how he'd react to it.
Rudock's reaction became obvious as he made his move to transfer to Michigan and Jim Harbaugh Nation. This left Beathard as the unquestionable quarterback to guide the 2015 season.
CJ's just taken it and run with it. I'm really proud of what he's done.
And running with it is exactly what Beathard will do.
I think he will naturally do some things with his legs that are, that will be exciting. We're not all of a sudden going to run him 25 times in a ball game. That's not going to happen. But I think we'll be more quarterback draws and some things like that. And then I think he'll naturally leave the pocket and do some things that will give us opportunities.
But don't cancel out his ability to throw the ball.
I mean, CJ can wing it pretty good.
The junior completed 52 of 92 pass attempts for 645 yards and 5 touchdowns, despite not starting in 2014.
I remember when I was a freshman coming in, like Ryan and Drew are right now, my mind was just going 100 miles an hour. I had no idea what was going on. And each year it continues to get even slower and slower. And now I feel like I've got a good grasp of everything to where it comes really easy now.
The only question that remains is who has that number 2 spot between Tyler Wiegers, Drew Cook, and Ryan Boyle. Redshirt freshman Tyler Wiegers seems to have the spot secured despite his inexperience.
He continues to make a lot of progress too, and we were confident that he would. He's a quality young man. He's totally invested, highly intelligent. He's got good skills.
The backups are never left behind either, even with 2 young freshmen at the 3 and 4 spot.
We travel all of our quarterbacks to ball games just so they have the experience of being in dressing room and halftime and that kind of stuff.
Inexperienced or going on 4 years, these quarterbacks all have to guide this Iowa offense one game at a time.
We wrap up the offense Thursday night when Laura Belanda takes a look at the running backs. Hannah, back over to you.
That wraps it up for Taylor and myself in the sports studio tonight. Back to you guys at the desk.
That's all we have for you tonight on Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to tune in tomorrow evening for more of the latest news.
Or you can check us out on YouTube. Just search for Daily Iowan TV. Thanks for watching. I'm Jeremy Meyer.
And I'm Megan Sanchez. Have a great night.
Can't pick up a copy of the Daily Iowan? Are you worried about how you're going to find out about the latest news in Iowa City and the University of Iowa? Well, look no further. You can download the Daily Iowan mobile app on your iPhone for the area's best news coverage. And you can also read and watch us on your iPad. You can always find current and past Daily Iowan stories at dailyiowan.com. The Daily Iowan is now on TV, online, and in your pocket. If it happens, it's news to us.